We are ready for the USA versus Japan. Over to your commentary team, Ted Lerner and Jim White.
It's the 888.com World Cup of Pool. USA versus Japan, race to 7. Winner breaks. The winner moves on to our quarterfinals where, as you said, Jim, the pretenders will be gone and it'll be time for the contenders.
Yeah, and you can bet, Ted, that with each round as these teams progress, the intensity level, it goes up. The pressure goes up because they're playing for a lot of money out there, too. $250,000 in total prize money on offer here. And the top end of it, $60,000 to the winners.
Well, the lag, whoever wins the lag closest to that top rail, those two cue balls, is awarded the right to break off first. And that goes to Lo Li Wen of Japan. And we've seen how important that break shot is in the World Cup of Pool. Such a big advantage if you can get the measure of this table and get a ball or two down on the break. Lowe gets a 8-ball down there. Lost control of that cue ball a bit, though.
They just pulled it back a little too far. But both of these teams have come an awful long way to hook up here in London. Neutral ground, if you will. Oh, what an opening shot. How about that one to send a little message over to the American camp?
Naoki Oi potting that in the side pocket. Here's another look at it.
The only problem as Lo Li Wen looks at the table, you can see that 6 next to the 9. Looks like it's only available in one pocket. So that's cause for concern. Ah, nifty little shot there. You saw him leaning, intentionally trying to develop that 6 because that was the problem ball. Have a look again.
Nicely done. Very deft touch from Lo Li Wen. Naoki Oi was a semi-finalist in the World 9-Ball Championship in 2012 in Doha.
Yeah, Ted, and both players were in Doha, weren't they? Just recently completed again the 2013 championships.
Lowe has been one of my favorite players in the last 2 years to watch. He's so strong, so talented. You may not have heard of him, but he is just very technically sound and tough in crunch time. He took Carl Boyce of England A to the limit and lost 11-10 in Doha, and that was in the quarterfinals.
Well, there's no reason for Japan shouldn't bother the marker here first. They got every chance. Power shot from Naoki Oi right there, drawing back. Now you see the benefit of Lo Li Wen having developed the 6. Had he not nudged that 6 into the open, this shot wouldn't be on. Sometimes it's just the subtle little shots that these top players execute, prove pivotal.
As we often say, 9-ball is a game of millimeters. An entire match, I've even seen entire careers resting on the slightest turn of a ball. It can be very cruel sometimes, but that's what makes it so dramatic. And Japan out to a 1-0 lead, and you see them, this is what they did in the first match. These two always having a blast out there.
Yeah, that's not exactly what Team USA wanted to see. The last thing they want to see is Japan having fun. But they were smiling right through their opening victory. But little shot right here where he just flicked the 6, and you saw him leaning into it. Fully intended to develop the 6 here. And for me, that was the shot of the rack.
Also gives you an insight into the mindset of a professional player thinking many, many shots down the line.
Second rack, Japan to break, leading by 1 rack to 0.
And you know, with most pairings, Ted, it's pretty plain who the captain is, who the lieutenant is on the team. This team from Japan, I think they're both wearing the captain's hats.
Definitely. They're both world-class players. Looks like we're going to have a re-rack there. Generally, the players like to have the balls frozen together so they get as good a spread as possible. You see the yellow one and the yellow and white 9, those are always in the same spot. The referee will then take the remaining 7 balls, and it's generally a random pattern after that.
Oy with the break, second rack. Still race to 7. Working so hard to get to the final 8, where the races are increased to 9. Didn't hear anything drop.
Dry break, so this is our first chance to see Team USA. I like what Johnny said in the interview at the top of the show about the Americans have a little extra something here that they are out to defend, and that's the pride of America, because they look at this as an American game. So they've been down for a few years. The American game has not been flourishing, and they're here to say, we're back.
And you know, they're in the right spot to take that viewpoint, because everywhere you go here, you see American pool tables. That's what they call them. So the game very much is seen as American. And Johnny and Shane, they know they're carrying that mantle. They have to reestablish a little bit of American pride, really. Even in recent Moscone Cups, Europe has been dominant the last 5 years. America, this year the Moscone Cup goes back to Las Vegas, the Mirage, in early December. And you know America is going to be very tough this year. They want to be real tough this year, right here and now.
So the Americans push out, but Japan decides to decline the offer, and it'll be SVB, Shane Van Boning.
Extension.
Johnny's standing up. Just on the left-hand side of Shane, just out of Shane's vision, really. Not quite what Shane wanted. He had a lot of colors to try and duck behind. I mean, Johnny says it's okay, the seal of approval, but it's not good enough for Shane. You see Shane, he's shaking his head.
I think that's more encouragement than approval. Trying to keep everybody positive.
I don't think anybody in the event understands team play better than Archer. And Johnny knows that he's got a thoroughbred as a partner.
Two-time U.S. Open champion, Shane Van Boning. He's actually the current defending champion of that prestigious event.
Kicking at this. Well, take that one with you. Outside possibility as we see the one again flying into the side pocket. That too is in very close proximity to the 9, and Shane's lining it up.
So that that kick on the 1 ball into the pocket could be a game changer.
How tough is this?
Nearly went in. But unfortunately for the Americans, A shot on the 2 for Japan.
Well, the safety was tough from that position as well. Didn't miss by much, but it was worth the effort. And they have left Japan another chance. Well, he can get through to this 3. It's a thin cut into the corner near the 9. But it does look like it comes with position. And it does go. Just not quite sure how thin it is, Ted, and whether that opposite side pocket comes into the equation. No, this should be all right. Well, maybe he wasn't. Tried to duck in behind the 9.
Left it open.
It looked like that shot was on, but again, he was cueing right by the side cushion, and if the angle was bringing the cue ball so close to that opposite side, just didn't think the risks were worth it. Never want to question the judgment of a top player. They're the ones that know how they feel at that moment in time. This isn't a great shot either from Archer.
Still, Americans seem to be adjusting to the speed of the table. 2 safeties so far, not up to par for Team USA. That one missed by a wide mark.
Yeah, some early nerves, I think, on display out there from both teams. And I think Shane can get through to this.
Definitely.
That one never threatened the corner pocket. Nicely judged. Everything in the open now. Johnny won't have to do too much. Knock this 4 down to the bottom corner. Good speed on this one. I do expect the Scorpion to be a little better today. I thought he was all right in the opening match, but a couple days of sound sleep. Look at his eyes. Is there anyone more intense over a pool table than Johnny Archer? His look is intimidating.
His resume is intimidating. Hall of Famer. Hails from Georgia.
You don't really want to hook up with him on the golf course either. Very handy. Low figure handicapper. Plays a lot of golf in his spare time. A lot of the pool players do, actually. John Schmidt, another American that I know very well. Borderline professional. At the U.S. Open last October, he just ran into him in the lobby, shot 66.
66?
66.
This is Shane Van Boening, SVB as he is known. The South Dakota kid ties it up for Team USA just in time. Boy, these are short races. Race to 7. You just have to hope that you come out. It's one of those days that you come out and you catch a gear right away. These are sprints in pool terms. Next round we move.
No, good point, Ted. This This really is just still settling in time, though. 1-1. I expect this match to be close. Americans are decided favorites, though. You still have to play the match.
Rack 3, USA to break, 1 rack each.
And the Japanese side are far from intimidated. They came here on a mission. Rack number 3. Two balls down. 4-ball crosses the head string. Legal break and a good one. He's on the 2.
Boy, that is an ideal break, Jim. Pockets the 1, brings the cue all the way around for a shot on the 2. 3-ball right out there, 4 out there. I expect this to be a lead for the USA very shortly.
3 and 4 in the middle of the table. Everything in the open, Ted.
Now that break right there, that was a little bit different from what we've seen. We've seen first few days, guys are powering the ball. Shane definitely taking something off that there. You'll always see players tinkering with the break, looking for that sweet spot. The sweet spot being, of course, first you've got to have a ball down. You've got to make it legal. But getting a ball down and getting a shot on the next object ball. There's really no science to it. It's just a matter of feel, and if you can just be lucky enough to capture the, I don't know, how would you say it, the mood of the table? The table conditions always change, right?
No, and the weather outside, believe it or not, affects playing conditions. Today, very sunny, a beautiful day in London. And yesterday, a little damper. The table wasn't breaking quite as easily as it is today. I mean, by my count, Ted, I think we've only had 1, maybe 2 illegal breaks all day. Whereas the first few days when it was damp and wet, there were as many illegal breaks as there were legal ones. And
Extension.
a legal break, 3 balls have to pass the head string. Every ball pocketed counts as a ball having passed the head string. That's one of the break rules here. Forces these players to hit that break. There's no soft break, and not in the World Cup of Pool.
Look out. No. That is a very poor result.
And you heard as soon as he hit it, he said, I was scared of that. When you're stunning it and forcing the ball like that, you lose the cue ball. That's what happened. Christmas come early for Japan. You can mark that one down on your scorecards. That could be a turning point. 2-1 now to Japan instead of 2-1 the other way. Archer to dwell on the miss. Join us after a short break for more action from London.
.com, proud sponsors of the World Cup of Pool.
I'm here to see Harold Cooper. Tell him it's Raymond Reddington.
It really is him. What does he want?
One man, his name is Ronco Zamani. You want him. I want him. Now, I'll give you Zamani, but from this point forward, I speak only with Elizabeth Keene.
Well, I'm here.
I'm going to make you famous, Lizzie.
The Blacklist starts Friday, 4th of October at 9 on Sky Living HD.
The security features in Everest UPVC windows are rigorously tested, and they're now up to 50% off. Find out more at everest.co.uk.
Nobody knows it all, but we all know a little something. And if those little somethings came together, we could do almost anything. Like windows that turn sunlight into electricity. It may seem like magic, but it's simply chemistry. The same chemistry that can make plastic bags compostable and wind turbines more durable. Good connections today can make for a better tomorrow. That's why we don't just make chemicals, we create chemistry. BASF, the chemical company.
Good news! Yakult Light has fewer calories. One more reason why every day is a Yakult day.
For money back if there's a red card, talk to Victor.
At Esso, we've developed a specially formulated fuel. A fuel designed to give you courgettes.
Esso, fill up your club card when you fill up your tank.
Watch me beat David Hay, live on Sky Sports Box Office.
888.com, proud sponsors of the World Cup of Pool.
Welcome back. Here's where it went wrong for Team USA. Looked like it was plain sailing. Archer losing the cue ball. Instead of a 2-1 lead, it's a 2-1 deficit. And still to come, the might of Holland up against the class and flair of India. And then it's the best that England has to offer, the A-team, against Fabio Petroni and Bruno Muratori, Team Italy.
Japan to break, leading by 2 racks.
A feast of pool coming your way. All on hand this evening.
I would expect for the veteran duo of Fabio Petroni and Bruno Muratori to give England a bit more trouble than they had in their first match.
A successful break from Japan, if not one that's going to provide dividends right away. Got the one on the side. You can see the two. He doesn't have anything from which that he can attack it. How's your Japanese, Ted?
Used to be better. Probably not good enough to get a second job as an interpreter here. Sorry to tell you, Jim.
Push out.
But you could have probably figured that one out. They were going to call push out.
Well, both Johnny and Shane take different paths to the cue ball. And no doubt they were going to be bringing Miyuki Oi and Lo Li Wen back to the table just to discuss what did they have in mind there. That's what Johnny and Shane are saying. This might be a little risky. I don't know whether or not he can see the 2, but he's bringing the 2 down where the 3 is. So if he leaves a shot, and it looks like he may just have enough room to get to this 2 and be able to make it. Ted, that's a mistake.
Sure is. You can even use the rail to try to pot this if he can't see it. It's hard to see sometimes from these camera angles. Sometimes you must be leaning over the table to see the actual angle
Ted, he tried to go cushion first, and, well.
Nothing easy here, Jim.
No, absolutely. You took the words away there. A little fortunate.
Extension.
So they've discussed their plan of attack. Called an extension. Get one per rack. An additional 35 seconds onto the shot clock.
Oh, he's gone for it. What a shot. Terrific shot. Funny, really. They had a shot on the 3. I think it was the last rack that they refused. It was easier than the one they just took. He hasn't left himself ideally situated on the 3 here. But if he gets it, the 4's right there. I'd rather be shooting than in my chair. Again, he's got the 3, but not ideally situated on the 4. The 5 is the wrong end of the table.
So are they looking at the combo?
Well, if he gets the cue ball over to that side, he's going to have to slam this into the side pocket. And he did.
But he scratched.
Well, now it's their turn.
Ball in hand.
So many times, we've said it before, we see it again. It's cue ball control. Just flicked the 8, and that took it into the corner pocket.
Well, he had control. He didn't legislate for that 8 ball to get in the way.
No, but cue ball control, the name of the game. But just touching the 8. A touch of ill fortune there, really, for Japan. How quickly America pounced on that one.
Well, it's got to take a little bit of the sting out of the mistake from Johnny Archer. Rack number 2. Rack number 3, rather.
Well, you can bet it put a little medication on that poison. 2-2. The race to 7. Trying to work their way to the last 8.
There it is.
Once again,
See
just
that?
feathers the 8 enough to go into the corner pocket.
We always talk about this being a game of inches, millimeters, and that's a perfect example of it right there. If he doesn't shave that 8 ball, Japan is up 3-1. Instead, it's 2-2, and it's a race to 5, essentially, from here on in, for the right to go into the quarterfinal. There you see the results from today. From yesterday, rather. And this was today. Hungary continues their run.
Yeah, no surprise package anymore, the Hungarian side. Chinese Taipei, well, they flex their muscle a little bit against Greece. And 2-2 finally poised here in the York Hall. USA with the break.
Well, there's 2 balls down, but no clear shot on that yellow 1.
Yeah, Johnny, one of the few players that's breaking from the left-hand side of the table as we see.
Again, no clear patterns on that break shot. We've seen hard breaks, cut breaks. They break from different sides of the table. In a way, it's good to see that. It makes for more interesting racks. Nothing repetitive. No, that is a foul. Why is that a foul? Because after contact, something must hit a rail.
Yeah, Shane tried to just feather this, and he was trying to bring the cue ball back in behind the brown 7. But ball in hand. It's a bit of a mental mistake, that one, from Shane Van Boening. To this point in the match, and more about the mistakes. Shane and Johnny have taken turns making unforced errors. And not too easy to forget about those mistakes either, and that's what you have to do.
Especially in a race to 7. Winner breaks. This is a very unforgiving format.
Stretching out.
So it's all elementary for Japan, as they will go up by a score of 3-2 with that gift from Shane Van Boening.
3-2 it is. This time it was Van Boning's turn for the mistake. And Japan pouncing all over it. Once again, just trying to feather the 1. Missed it going in. And no cushion after contact.
Well, they struggled against Kuwait. Bit of a struggle here against Japan. Team USA yet to get unleashed.
But Japan, again, they're a solid team, not to be taken lightly, and not insinuating that America would take anybody lightly. They just worry about their own games. But Japan is fully capable on their day of beating anybody. And they don't really care who sits opposite.
Rack 6, Japan to break, leading by 3 racks to 2.
6th rack. The race to 7, motors on, 1 into the side.
Well, if you ask any pool player about Lowly Wen, they'll all say how impressed they are with his game.
Yeah, almost an illegal break with 2 balls having been pocketed here. The 6 just getting to the line. With the 2 balls pocketed, that was number 3. Just getting over the head string, the 6. And it looks like he's got a shot at the 3. It's far enough from that point where it may be available into the side. Difficult to tell. Maybe not.
Very hard to tell from that overhead angle. From that angle right there. Yeah, there is something there.
Attention.
Looks like he can flick that 3 into the side. Be very delicate with it.
The 4's on the same cushion.
That was safety all the way. Nicely done
Yeah, his partner liked it too.
Will we see the jump cue? Well, it must be nice to have a partner like Naoki Oi. He is always keeping you loose with his humor and clowning around.
Yeah, the one year the event was played in Las Vegas, he came in with purple hair.
Extension.
He's a colorful character, Naoki Oi.
I've seen him get on a streak in tournaments. Like his partner Lowe, he's got a fantastic game. Oh, what a shot. But the cue ball goes behind the 6.
Yeah, no one said the game had to be fair. After a shot like that, they fully deserved to have a chance at the 4.
Yes, the Americans are certainly being tested here. Just have to have patience.
He caught it thinner than he intended. He wanted a thicker hit. And at that speed, that was always going to be either in or over the corner pocket. That was not what Johnny Archer intended.
He has left that open. This could be a big opening for Japan. Still some work to do.
You know, interestingly enough, both of the Japanese players, and Ted, you talk about some work to do, and you're dead right. That 7 ball right on top of the 9 is going to have to be developed. That might be the insurance policy for Team USA in this one. But, you know, as colorful and flamboyant as Naoki Oi is, and you get a lot of emotion even from Lo Li Wen, they both cite Ralph Souquet, the robotic Ralph Souquet, as their favorite pool player. Surprising.
Yeah. Hard to figure that one out. Except if they're just referring to building up a massive resume in pool.
So he's got to try and develop the 7 right here. Got to hit it. Oh, that's a great shot. And he's given himself every chance. Or, more accurately, his partner. Great shot.
Yeah, I hope people can appreciate just how great a shot that was. The pot wasn't difficult, Jim. Look at this. Cue ball, developing it, and getting a shot on that 7.
Well, the only danger here, Ted, is the cue ball is going to be running around the table. And the pocket to guard for may be the one nearest the 8. Well, he's leaving the long 8 instead. But you can see that cue ball, it would have been tracking right down towards that bottom left corner. I like the way he's played this.
Well, this hits the 9. This is going to work. That's right. And this rack has to be a huge confidence booster for Team Japan.
Yes, and a dagger through the heart for Team USA. It's a 4-2 advantage. Japan with the controls.
.com, proud sponsors of the World Cup of Pool.
A little bit of something very special. It feels like the most wonderful league in the world, and that's what it is. It's absolutely magnificent. It really is. What an afternoon of football.
Your weekend of live Premier League football.
Guarda il mare quanto è bello, ispira tanto sentimento.
It's the immigrants.
Super cool and ready to wear. The Fiat 500 Autumn Winter Collection.
There's no end of things around the home that could disrupt your wireless internet. But our router finds a way through the interference to give you an unbeatably reliable wireless signal. The new BT Home Hub uses the latest smart dual-band technology to help reduce dropouts so you can enjoy a smoother web browsing experience. You get totally unlimited broadband for £16 a month, free for the first 6 months. Just call 0800 500 282 or visit bt.com/newhub.
At the limits of your ability, you need to replace the electrolytes you lose in your sweat. Give your body fuel. Keep your body hydrated. Lucozade Sport hydrates and fuels you better than water.
Watch me, David Hay, beat Tyson Fury on September 28th, live on Sky Sports Box Office.
888.com, proud sponsors of the World Cup of Pool.
Great shot here from Naoki Oi, developing the 7. Surprising score to many. 4-2, Japan in front of the favored USA. Is a shock on the cards? The number 4 seeded Americans in danger. Still to come, the flamboyant Indians against Holland, and then England A against Italy. All on tap for tonight.
Hungary continues to roll. Chinese Taipei, what a turnaround for them. This will work. Oh no.
It would for a second, and then that 7 was bumped right into the path, a clear path for the 2. Yeah, actually just caught the point and then flicked the 3. Otherwise, it would have been a very good break for Japan. See Archer and Van Boning, though, they're still talking. You know, he was tapping him on the shoulder, and they just want their chance. As I said, nobody understands the concept of team play and how important it is to have a good working chemistry, better than Johnny Archer.
They're going to have to get to work soon. They are definitely on the back foot now. Really, Jim, the Team USA has not been able to get a good rhythm going at all.
No, they haven't flowed yet, Ted. It just seems like the way the balls have run for them. They've made some good shots. They made a few mistakes, it's fair to say. But when they just needed that little bit of luck, it hasn't been there. And most noticeable, that one shot that Shane Van Boning played. But he's got the jump cue out here. Over the 3.
Just try to make something happen. That's not going to go well.
And again, case in point, they're not getting away with anything. You know, when Shane knocked in that 3 off the cushion and ended up not leaving Johnny a shard on the 4, that's, you know, those are the sort of small little rolls that, you know, when they don't favor you, they just don't allow you to get any steam.
Well, indeed, it's there is an element of luck in this game, despite the fact that it requires an incredible skill level. Sometimes the balls carom into each other and get in your way and stop you from running out. Just like we always say, the slightest roll of the ball can change all your plans. Now, there is a chance for Team USA, but again, I think they can see that. It's not going to be easy, but this is the kind of shot you'd like to have Johnny Archer be taking.
Well, Johnny is delighted to get out of his chair because he leapt out of there.
Johnny wants to make something happen. Wants to, get that spark under the team, light that fire. This could just be the ticket right here.
He's taking lots of time eyeing up the line, the intended line that he wants that cue ball to take.
No. Oh, no. Look at that. It's caught in the jaw. Jim, I don't know if he can hit that 3 ball properly. Oh, so unfortunate.
If this is cushion hooked or angled, as they say in the snooker world, that's cruel.
Oh, they tried the side pocket. Very difficult shot, but at least they got away with it. But boy, they can't just that. That was a terrific shot on the 2 ball. Very unlucky to get hooked. And now,
well, Shane hit that 3 good. Ball could have easily dove into that side pocket.
Well, you have to feel for Team USA.
Well, I'm not too sure what exactly Oy was doing there, unless he was just flying at the 9, trying to bank the 3 into the 9. But I mean, that was just a heave-ho.
Otherwise known as hit and pray. So now Team USA must get out here.
Perfect. Yeah, there's no way they're going to let this one slip away. The mental makeup between these two also very sound. They're more than willing to take the body blows that Japan has handed out and pick themselves up off the canvas.
I love that boxing analogy. Just like in boxing, sometimes you've just got to hang around, wait your turn, wait for your opponent to tire, to run out of steam.
And I'll tell you something else, Ted, as Shane deposits the 9. That shot that Oy played there, that just show of desperation, you'd never see that from either Shane or Johnny. Never. And for me, that might be the difference right there. That one single shot, that touch of desperation, just flying at the 3, hoping for something good to happen, there's no way you'd see that from Team USA.
Well, they're yucking it up, but they know that Team USA is hot on their heels.
Oy on the left, Lowly Wen
USA
on the right.
Break, trailing by 4 racks to 3.
Still 1 rack ahead of the Americans, but a good break from Shane Van Boening here. And that score could change quick.
Got the red 3 down.
Legal break.
And they'll have a shot on the 1. The 2's out. Oh, this is terrific.
Yeah, we'll check that score again in about 5 minutes. And it may not even take that long.
So this run by the Americans started with that terrific cut shot on the 2 by Johnny Archer in the last rack. It got a little bit interrupted there in the subsequent shot, but they managed to take the rack and now come out with a terrific break shot by SVB.
Just weighing it up in his mind where he wants to take. There, he just showed you with his Q-tip, just where he wants to take the cue ball back to. That would be ideal position. And Archer is a very precise player, meticulous, known for picking lint and little foreign particles off the pool table as he walks around, changing balls from pocket to pocket.
Just shows how intense he is.
Is this a mistake from Shane, or is he okay?
I believe he's okay. Johnny's, you can tell by his body language.
Well, that was risky the way that Shane played that. He just didn't quite get into the cue ball as he would have liked, but he's still okay. That must have had his heart skip a beat.
Right.
8 racks now in the books here at your call. The Americans have fought back. 4 apiece. They'll break in rack number 9.
Well, this match was last tied at 1 apiece. And that is the first break and run for the Americans. Similar to what happened versus Kuwait last night. There you see Hungary moving on to the quarterfinals. Did I just say that? Yeah, that's right. Hungary beating Russia. Philippines moving along. And Chinese Taipei with a complete reversal of fortunes, dumping Greece out of the event.
Yeah, some of the pool powerhouses on display here, even tonight. Holland, India, and then England A versus Italy. So a chance to see all the very best. Some of the favorites here in the 888.com World Cup of Pool, all on display. Already teams like the Philippines and Chinese Taipei through to the last 8.
There's a ball down.
It's break, control pass.
Oh boy, a black 8 went down, but only 1 ball went past the head string. So we needed another ball down or another past the head string. Didn't get it.
No, and a chance it looks like on the 1 here. It looks like it'll pass the 2 into the bottom left corner. Oi is up quickly. It must.
I think it's fair to say that sometimes when you get called for an illegal break, and in reality that was really a good break by Johnny Archer. He made a ball. You know, I think the players feel that it may be unfair at times, but the rules are the rules, and the rules are designed because we don't want soft breaks.
Extension.
Because when you have soft breaking, guys just touching that rack, it just becomes terminally boring and repetitive. So 9 ball is always better when the players are encouraged to hit that rack as hard as possible. Now, that does not always guarantee that there will be a legal break. That was a case in point right there. So both sides have to play by the same rules. I could see Johnny looking very disappointed on there. This sort of puts a stop to their little run they had going, Jim.
Yes, it does. But again, all valid points, Ted. USA, the number 4 seed in this event. There's Japan, the number 13 seed.
Yeah, he can't believe. He feels he should be at the table shooting, but, you know, the rules are the rules, and they're applied equally to both teams. So the USA will certainly at some point be a beneficiary of those rules, just not in this instance.
Japan made it through to the last 16 by virtue of a 7-4 win over Sweden. The Americans were pushed by an unheralded team from Kuwait, 7-5. Johnny Archer had only been in town a few hours before that match. Still performed quite well, I thought, considering.
I tell you, he's over there stewing, Jim. I could practically see steam coming out of his ears. Unhappy. Rightfully so, because that illegal break led to a run out by Japan. They surge back into the lead, 5-4, and the World Cup of Pool continues after the break.
.com, proud sponsors of the World Cup of Pool.
Two British heavyweights from different worlds. David Hay, back to business. Tyson Fury, unconventional and unbeaten. Hay v Fury, coming soon on Sky Sports box office. Order now, press the green button or see skysports.com/HeyFury.
One electric engine, one petrol, combining to deliver a range of over 580 miles. Efficiency without the compromise. The new Audi A3 Sportback e-tron arrives autumn 2014.
Nobody knows it all, but we all know a little something. And if those little somethings came together, we could do almost anything. Like windows that turn sunlight into electricity. It may seem like magic, but it's simply chemistry. The same chemistry that can make plastic bags compostable and wind turbines more durable. Good connections today can make for a better tomorrow. That's why we don't just make chemicals, we create chemistry. BASF, the chemical company.
Your local NICE store is not just for emergencies. You'll discover so many fresh ideas and great offers every day, like McCain French fries, only £1.50. So your shop may take a little longer. It's shopping, but nicer.
At Wix, we know when you take pride in your work. It's the details that make the difference. Wix Ultra Gold High Performance Wood Screws have a posi square stick fit recess designed for greater control and stability, and a waxed finish for a smoother drive. Try them for yourself. A range of screws fit for professionals. We're proud to say it's got our name on it. Wix.
TV show where you learn about sports and having fun. Sky Sports Game Changers!
888.com, proud sponsors of the World Cup of Pool.
5-4, the Japanese unwilling to relinquish the lead. First day with the new lips. But still, 2 more required for a place in the quarters. Still to come, Holland versus India and England A. Darren Appleton, Carl Boyes up against the might of Italy. And Japan will be breaking rack number 10.
Leading by 5 racks to 4.
Good break here. Could seal America's fate, and it's not bad.
2 ball is down. Shot on the 1. 3 is out there. That is ideal.
Yeah, not a good sign if you're an American fan. Still a little tricky here, though, Ted. That's why he's taking a little time. If he tries to play this into the left side, he's going to have to pull that cue ball over to the right-hand side of the table, avoid that right-hand side pocket. And we're having a look to see if playing top will avail position to the 3. That takes that side pocket out of the equation.
Extension.
That was the only word I understood.
That means I need 35 more seconds in Japanese.
Either way, they're playing that 1 into the side. Doesn't pass the corner, doesn't pass the 3 into the corner, so it's going to be in the side. And his choice of ways to play it. Well, has he been lucky?
He has been.
He knew he was taking the cue ball into the 4 and leaving it to chance, and he got away with it.
Well, the Americans have to be shaking their heads. It just seems like any time they get something going, something comes up and bites them. That was, Jim, as you say, taking a chance that everything would come out all right for the next shot, and they got rewarded for taking the chance. They look like they're going to take this rack. That would put them on the hill, which means 1 away from victory.
Our next matchup will be India versus Holland. That's who the winner of this match will meet in the quarterfinals. So if it's Japan, if it's Team USA, they may be hanging around to watch the next one anyway. I know we are.
Three more balls, and it's 1 away from victory.
Gonna have to force this a little bit. This long 8, get the cue ball back down for the 9. This is where you've got to keep the line, stay still, and deliver the cue straight on its intended path. All those hours of practice on the practice table is really geared towards the fundamentals. All got to be muscle memory. so that you can handle the pressure. The pressure like the World Cup of Pool delivers. And right now, Japan, they're the team on the hill, 6-4 over Team USA. It wouldn't be a major shock. It's a shock. But Japan, as I said earlier, capable of beating anybody on their day. A lot of firepower, and the Americans, 3 to play, they need them all.
Well, there's nothing. They know there's really nothing they can do about it. The illegal break stopped the run of the Americans. They definitely had the momentum on their side at that point. But again, we saw Finland come back last night.
Japan's break, leading by 6 racks to 4.
Exactly the same score.
That's right, 6-4. And everybody was just waiting for Korea to make that last 9 ball. And, one mistake, and all of a sudden, the Finns came storming back and won that match. So, although Japan is 1 away from victory, still anything's possible here.
Yeah, they got to secure the break first, Ted. They got to win this rack. Goes without saying. And get the break back and use it.
How about this? Nothing down. So the Americans will get a chance.
Just discussing the safety options. Either run with the cue ball or keep the cue ball at the same end and send the yellow up behind cover. Either way, Japan should be hooked. There's the definition of being hooked.
Extension.
Same path that the 1 took, off the side cushion. Or is he looking at the 2 cushion escape? Those are the only 2 options. 2 cushions it is.
Oh, shot.
Here's the chance. Here's that one mistake that leaves an opening. Can the Americans walk through, take advantage, and come back?
Yeah, I saw Johnny Archer have a real good look to see if that 2 passed into the bottom right corner. If it doesn't, they're going to have to play this a little differently. He could follow through, play the cue ball into the 5, or even holding pretty close to where the 1 is should avail position to the 2.
Yes.
Doesn't look like it passes. So they're going to have to try and play the 2 to the same pocket. As I said, just kind of hold position. He could try and play the cue ball down to the 5. Just flick the 5. He knew he didn't have to do anything simply because the 3 is over the far corner and the 4 at the same end of the table. The big shot in this rack might come the position from the 4 to the 5. It's so important to leave a nice angle on that pink 4 after making this 3. I don't think he could have placed that any better with his hand. Straight off that side cushion, just a touch of right hand spin.
We sure get the feeling Johnny Archer's like he's on fire. He's very intense.
Well, there's no quitting these guys, Ted. They've been in so many competitions over the years, and every year they're both full-time pool players. This is what they do. This is all they do. Not bad, but a little straighter than would be ideal. But Johnny should be able to thump this in and just force that ball off that side cushion. Well, this is going to pull it 6-5. America will be breaking. They need the last 2 racks to duplicate what Finland did.
Well, finally, a piece of good fortune for the Americans. Japan was breaking for the match, and they broke dry, nothing down. And USA steps up, clears the colors, moves to within 1. They'll be breaking, as Jim said. So Johnny can take a drink and take a sigh of relief just for the moment until Shane will get back up and break here. There you see the score lines from earlier. The Philippines motors on. Chinese Taipei looked like a totally different team today, and they beat a very good Greece team. Coming up next, Holland versus India. The crowd here waiting for that, and England A. Appleton and boys.
12, USA to break, trailing by 6 racks to 5.
They'll be taking on Italy. Bruno Moratori and Fabio Petroni, the wily veterans.
Well, Team USA's got the right guy breaking.
2 balls down.
No shot at 2, though. Cue ball and 2 have found opposite ends of the table. Looks like there's just a path, though, to the 2. But I'm wondering if Johnny isn't advising. Well, they've already called a push out. It's up to the far end of the table where only the left edge of the 2, as the shooter will look, will be sticking out.
Well, the speed that they called this push out leads you to believe that they've seen this one before. They got something in mind.
Kind of expect Japan to take this because they could try and bank it into the other pocket. Comes with a lot of safety as well. This is not a difficult shot. Well, they're turning it back. That 2 is going to be close to the bottom right corner. And if it isn't, it's going to be played at the speed to try and drop it right at the middle diamond, the bottom cushion.
Extension.
But I fully expect this to be close. This is like a 1-pocket shot, Ted. And both Johnny and Shane play 1 pocket.
Just indicating where he's going to hit that cue ball.
The only danger here is if he comes too close and it doubles in the jaws and stays near that bottom right corner.
So watch the 2 ball track cross table towards the pocket.
Yeah, see the speed? The speed was the key there as well. It was like a free shot, and I'm still surprised Japan never took it. And that's probably as bad as Johnny could have hit that ball. It's still fairly safe.
Very tense in here. Your call, East London. Japan wants to get out of here now. They do not want this to go to a hill match.
Yeah, you might as well stand up and take more time. Just bought yourself an extra 35 seconds. 35-second shot clock in use here. Each team allowed one extension per rack.
Get up, 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 get up.
Can you get through to it? Very close.
I think he can.
Look at it. It's hard to tell.
Oh, just the safety. Distance.
This entire match hangs in the balance right here because if the USA can grab this rack, they will have the advantage because they will be breaking in the final rack. You know they're due for a good break. Lovely shot.
Yeah, terrific shot. Terrific shot from Lo Li Wen. You know what he likes the most about pool, Ted? He likes winning the matches himself. Well, that might be the shot that pulls Japan over the finish line here. If it extracts the mistake from Johnny Archer's cue, America may well have played their last shot. Oh! Then again, don't go away. What happened there, Japan? 9 into the side, 6-6. Look at Archer, the celebration. One rack for a place in the quarterfinals.
Ooh.
Here you see it again. Kicks the two. This was totally unexpected. I'd like to know if he actually even considered that shot. But nonetheless, look at the reaction. Comeback time for the USA. They have the advantage. They will be breaking in rack number 13, the very final rack.
He is an emotional leader, and more times than not, he leads by example. What a time for a fluke.
Thank you. The final rack, USA to break.
It's a funny old game, isn't it, Jim? Fortunes can change at the snap of a finger.
Well, how big the break now for Johnny Archer? Huge break. Biggest break of the tournament to this point. Got to have a legal break. One into the side.
Oh, I don't know. Yes, it is a legal break.
Just. But no shot at the two. Unbelievable drama unfolding here at York Hall. The scene of so many dramatic moments involving the Moscone Cup. Now it's the World Cup of pool. It's got everybody on the edge of their seats.
The Americans talking about before this match how much they wanted to win this to show who's the boss at the American game of pool.
Both countries have traveled a long distance to London from opposite directions. And for one of them to stick around, we're down to the last rack.
Extension.
So we are going to see a safe. So important.
Pat on the back and assurance from Archer. He needs it to stop. It may have just hit the brakes just in time. It's close. Shane, he's not sure, but this is desperately close.
This is Naoki Oi.
Extension.
This is why we watch pool, Ted. Moments like this.
And even this comeback has been so dramatic. As we said when it's 6-4, you can never give up because it can turn on a penny. Oh, shot.
The 9-2.
And the 9.
You don't think he would have minded seeing that 9 fly into the side pocket? What a shot from Naoki Oi. And Shane, he wasn't sure whether he had left enough. And a chance. The 3's available. Not easy to get position to the 4, though. The 4 doesn't go to the same pocket as the 3. So he's either going to try and kill the speed of this or take it across the table twice to get back onto the 4.
Oh, close to scratching.
He tried to go around it. Look at Archer. I think he thought it was in. The cue ball, that is.
And this shot's a cliffhanger as well. I don't think anything is going to be easy until that final 9 drops. Impressive.
Very impressive. I mean, to smash that into the side like that with all that body movement.
Shane Van Boning right there, leaving the 2 ball slightly open. Wasn't an easy shot, but Naoki Oi drained it. And now Japan has the finish line in sight. Still 4 balls to go, however.
Yeah, they're almost there, Ted. I think the crowd are sensing it. Eight and 9 to come.
Still got to make this, Naoki. He knows. There it is. And Team Japan staves off a terrific fight back from the Americans. They win it 7-6.